Increasingly, I'm hearing from cord cutters that they don't need an antenna because their live TV streaming service offers their locals. I would still encourage you to check out an antenna for many different reasons. But I have 5 reasons why, even if you're streaming your locals, you should still can get an antenna to supplement your cord cutting setup. So number 1 is more channels. Now, when we think of over-the-air TV, you probably think of Fox, NBC, ABC, CBS, etc. But there's a ton more content out there. Big networks like PBS, ION, and the CW in many areas are 100% free over the air. Past that, there's a ton of other channels you may not know about. The CEO behind Tableau DVRs we recently interviewed, he said the average Tableau DVR user gets over 40 channels with their antenna. So channels like MeTV, Antenna TV, Comet, Escape, Laugh, I can keep going. These channels have really upped their game recently as over-the-air became more popular. They've invested more in content, diversifying their lineups, bringing better content out there, and they're rolling out to more areas. Antenna TV earlier this year rolled out to a ton of new markets. Escape, Laugh, and others announced that they're rolling out to 40 new markets over the next few months, Bounce, and more. So there really is a lot of content out there, and a lot of it's great. One of the things I hear a lot is I want like a shopping network. A lot of people really love just to watch them, and many streaming services don't offer them. But with an antenna in many areas, you will be surprised to find QVC and others free over the air. And on top of that, just the collection is amazing. So check it out. If you want to see what's available in your area, check out antennarecommendations.com. Enter your address for the most accurate information, or just your zip code, and it'll show you what kind of stations you can get with an indoor antenna and an outdoor antenna. Highly recommend you do that before you buy an antenna to avoid possibly buying the wrong antenna or finding out you live in an area that struggles. 90% of Americans should get locals, but that 10% still means millions of Americans live in areas where over-the-air TV is difficult. Next up in the reasons why you should get an antenna, even if you get your locals, is no blackouts, no outages. Live TV streaming is still a fairly new technology. It's better. 1 year ago to today, there's been huge improvements in quality to the point where blackouts or outages are newsworthy because they're becoming increasingly rare, but they still happen. Contracts need to be updated, and technology continues to progress as more and more people cut the cord. Have an antenna makes sure if you have an internet outage, if you have a blackout with your live TV streaming service, you can still watch the game, the big event, with an antenna. I highly recommend it just for that reason right now. Number 3, and this one's big for sports fans, no delay. Did you know even cable TV has a delay between what's live and what you see on your cable TV provider? Basically, it takes time for the signal to come to your local TV provider and then for them to send it out to the cable TV provider. 10-15 seconds is not unusual for a cable provider, I've heard. And then live TV streaming services have another layer. They have to stream it to you. You have to download it, decode it, and then display it. I find on average 30 seconds is the delay for streaming, so maybe about double what cable has, but a lot of factors go into that. Your internet speed, slower internet speeds means that the services buffer longer to make sure you have a smooth streaming experience. And the age of your player, the power of your player is a big part of that, because with slower, older players, it takes longer for them to load the image on your TV to start that, where Roku Ultra 2017 will do it in a lot quicker than a old Roku One, which could mean the Roku One will be slightly behind the 2017 Roku Ultra, for example. So with that, though, with an antenna, there's no delay. It comes into the local cable or local TV station, and they just rebroadcast it right there. There's no transmit up to your cable, transmit it down to you, and so on. So if you don't want delay, you're worried about seeing a text message or the score alert pop up on your phone, get an antenna. That's the way to do it. Next up is picture quality. Even cable TV compresses HD. Now it's still technically HD, meets all the HD requirements, but it's compressed. Streaming, same thing. It's HD, but it's compressed HD. And that's done for many different reasons. But with over-the-air TV, it's uncompressed over-the-air is the easiest way to describe it, which will give you a much higher quality image with HD than you would get with cable or with streaming. Number 5, the last reason, is the 3.0 standard that's coming out. So there's a new over-the-air standard in the works right now. The FCC will vote on it next week. It will allow for 4K over the air. It will allow for better penetration. This standard is reportedly much better about cutting through trees, buildings, all kinds of materials. Its signal will do a much better job at that. Now, the FCC is going to require new TV stations switching to the new 3.0 standard to continue to broadcast in the current standard now for 5 years after they add the new one, simulcasted. And that means you don't need to rush out. The good news is current antennas will work with a 3.0 standard. The change is inside your TV. That process in 5 years, you're probably going to get a new TV in the next 5 years anyway, so I wouldn't worry about that. But the good news is 4K is coming, which for cord cutters right now, if you want 4K, over the air may soon be the best way to do that. 2, it doesn't eat up against your data cap, or 4K just drains your data cap. Over the air doesn't do that. And lastly, is the fact that it's going to give better coverage. Might as well get out now, test it out as the transition happens. You may even pick up some additional over-the-air TV stations. So there you go, my 5 reasons why even if you're getting over-the-air TV with a live TV service, you should still get an antenna because there's a lot more content out there. It's a lot better picture quality, and it is a little bit more reliable right now. So check that out. Questions, comments, let me know. But I really wanted to just throw that out there because I've heard so many people say, I don't need an antenna. I have XYZ service that has my locals. It has some of your locals. It doesn't have all your locals. So check that out. If you have a question about cord cutting, visit us every Wednesday, 8 p.m. Eastern, right here on YouTube for our weekly cord cutting Q&A, where we do our best to help answer your cord cutting related questions. You can find us at cordcuttersnews.com for daily news, tips, reviews, and how-to guides, or on social media at Facebook and Twitter. Just search for @CordCuttersNews.